In today's video, I will be talking about my experience with baby blues. A lot of women after giving birth often experience this, and that's why I wanted to share my experience with you all in case you are going through something similar. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Taufika. I'm a mom of 3. I live in Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates. If you're a new subscriber, you're welcome to the family, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for sticking by. Thank you guys for staying with me despite the inconsistencies, despite the promise and fail, and despite the on and off. You guys are still here, and like I always say, I really want to take my YouTube seriously. I really mean that. I want to grow this channel, and really there is no excuse. Like seriously, I want to build a community and increase my subscribers. So if you're not yet subscribed, please, what are you waiting for? Kindly hit the subscribe button and let's get into the video. So in my last video where I talked about my first pregnancy experience, I briefly mentioned the fact that I had baby blues when I had my baby, and a couple of you have asked me to share my experience, to delve deep into what it was like to have baby blues. And I thought, yeah, that's a good topic to discuss because I feel it's a topic that people don't talk about enough. And I think it's high time that as women we carry our matter on the head and talk about this thing such that everybody knows what it is. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about what baby blues is. I'll be giving the background information on what baby blues is and postpartum depression. I'll be talking about what predisposes you to it, how to overcome it. I'll be sharing my own personal experiences, and I'll also be talking about how to look out for it from people around you and how to help anybody going through these symptoms. So firstly, I want to say having a baby is a whole lot of hard work. Like you've gone through the 9 months pregnancy, and for some people it's 10 months. You've gone through labor, and now the baby is here. You're having a reality check. Everything is finally dawning on you, and there is this new human being, like a whole human being with head, hands and leg that you have to take care of. And there's just a lot of things going on through you. You are tired, you are fatigued, you've not slept enough, and you even feel this sense of loss, and you just know that your life will not remain the same. Question yourself and doubt yourself, and you overthink everything. You have this feeling of, will I be able to do this? How am I even supposed to cope with this? Especially if it is the first one. There is so much feeling of uncertainty, hopelessness, and it is very important that you have that support. So what is baby blues? Baby blues is a mild form of depression that most new mothers experience. I think about 80% of mothers experience it after giving birth, and the symptoms majorly include mood swings, feeling of sadness, the feeling of being overwhelmed, having anxiety, being irritable, like everything just irritates you, and you just snap, and you're just sad and angry, and you're crying, and you don't know what is happening to you. And I like to think of this situation as a process whereby your body is just trying to get back to normal. Like when you're pregnant, you had all these pregnancy hormones in you, and now you're no longer pregnant. The hormones are like packing their bags and going back home. That is the perfect analogy I like to give baby blues. The symptoms of baby blues start a few days after giving birth and last till like 2 weeks, after which it goes away by itself and things go back to normal. So I'll be sharing my own personal experience with baby blues. I remember after having my first baby, this was like a week after I was back from the hospital, and I was just trying to settle in and start a routine and all of that. And I can remember it was an afternoon. We even had a guest in the house, and we were all chatting and having a good time. And suddenly my husband asked me, what would I eat? And guys, it was as if the flood gate was opened. Like I just started crying. Just like that. Like, what happened? What will you eat? What is it? Okay, it's okay, it's okay. I was just crying, like I can't even explain it. I just kept on weeping. And at that moment when I started crying, my husband was perplexed. He didn't know what to do. He was clueless. He was confused. I myself was confused. I was helpless. I was clueless. So I feel like if people are in the know of this information, if you know what baby blues are, it will help you cope better. And that is exactly why I think I should do this video. I don't know, anybody might be going through something similar, so this can help you understand what you're going through better, and to reassure you that it is absolutely normal. Like I said, guys, this is a topic that we do not talk about enough, and most people shy away from talking about it, especially from where I come from. These are topics you don't even hear people talk about at all. Like, it's not even a topic to be discussed. So when it happened to me the first time, I was really perplexed and I didn't know what was happening. Those around me were also clueless, they were also helpless, and they were confused on what was happening. And their reaction made me feel much more worse. And now, on the flip side, imagine if we had all had the information. I myself, if I had had the information and I knew what was happening, and if those around me were also in the know of what was happening, we would have handled the situation differently. Everybody would know what to do and would have just done what we were supposed to do. Also, as a spouse, it is important that, or as someone that is around someone who has just given birth, it is important that you are able to recognize these symptoms and be able to help in whichever way you can. As a spouse, this is not a time to be demanding. It is a time to step in and be hands-on. This is a time when you are supposed to take care of the new mother. You are supposed to pamper the new mother and just generally help her through that phase. And it has happened to me before. In fact, it has happened to me twice. The first time I didn't know what it was, but the second time I knew what it was and I was able to cope with it. So having that knowledge and the information of how to overcome it really helps a lot in coping with things like baby blues or postpartum depression. So after that first incident where I burst out crying, I noticed that I was very, very sensitive and it persisted. I had mood swings. Sometimes this minute I'm happy, the next minute I'm sad, and I was very, very sensitive. So I brought it up with my doctor on one of the postpartum visits, and he explained to me that this is baby blues. Honestly, guys, this was the first time I heard of that term baby blues. I've never heard of it before in my life. After hearing from my doctor, I made more research and read more about it, and I even discovered that it's not just only baby blues that are the mood disorders you have after having your baby. There's also postpartum depression, which is also very popular. There's postpartum anxiety, there's postpartum OCD, there's bipolar, and there's postpartum psychosis. When I was reading it and I came across this postpartum psychosis, it made me remember what we call abisinwi in the Yoruba land, which is a situation whereby a mother after having a baby becomes mentally challenged, and that is what is called postpartum psychosis. Now, it's not as if these things are not happening. Apparently, there are things that happen, but nobody's talking about it. Nobody understands that, okay, this is what is happening as a result of having a baby, or because there are hormonal changes in the new mother. That is why this and this is happening. And that is where the problem lies, when you don't know what is happening to you or how you can overcome it. And I think it's high time we really start talking about these things. So I feel like everybody that can be a part of the support system for a new mother should have this information. You should know what it is and how to come in, how to help, what to do about this situation. Like I said, the problem is not that it is happening. The issue is if you're not talking about it, or if you don't even know what is happening, it can lead to the problem degenerating into an even bigger problem. So it can degenerate in the sense that as a new mother yourself, who has just gone through labor, you've just carried the baby for 9 months, you've gone through labor, and now you're in this emotional state where you're crying all the time, where you're having mood swings, where you're temperamental. It might cause harm to you physically. It might, for example, you might stop eating, and this is not good for you as a new mother. You need to eat very well, you need to sleep very well, and be able to, be at optimal to take care of your baby. But if you're not able to do all of this, it might harm you, harm your baby indirectly. So this is the time where you should be taking care of yourself, where you need all the care in the world, where you need to be pampered and be, to be taken care of. This is the time where you need the support the most. And it is important that you get it, or leading into bigger problems like even destroying relationships around you. And it's not a bad thing, because it is, you don't know, and those around you also do not know. So for example, if you are temperamental or you are easily irritated, people around you might just look at you as she's rude. Nobody would understand what you're going through because they don't know. So my first suggestion to you as a new mother, if you're a new mother or if you're someone around a new mother, is to look out for these signs. And if you see any of these signs like mood swings, being overly sensitive or irritable, or you are just anxious, then I think it's time to talk to somebody, or read about it, or do the things that makes you happy the most. Those things that you cannot do without. This is the time to do it. Hopefully it passes away by itself. So the second suggestion I'm going to give to anybody in this kind of situation is to seek for help. Reach out for support around you. This is the time you need the support the most. And if you're an overthinker like me, this is the time to take a chill pill. You don't have to think about what life will be like in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. That will sort out itself. Take it a step at a time. Try and do what you can do in the meantime. and not overstress yourself or micromanage everything. Or finances, you know, thinking of what will my baby eat, how will I survive, and all of that. I know these things are important, but you need to be alive to be able to do all these things. If you're not alive and you're not healthy, there's no way you can be able to do all of these things. It is really important to just relax and get any help you can. So finally guys, because I'm not an expert on this subject matter, I just wanted to share my experience with you. Please, I would like you to read more about it. Yeah, talk to experts and get help as much as possible. If you're a spouse, it's also important that you have information on these things so that you can know how to step in and help. So finally guys, I'll be wrapping it up here, but before I go, I know some of you are following me on my social media handles at Fika Collections, and lately I've been sharing there my hijab business, and I would like you guys to check it out at Fika's Collections. And in fact, in my next video we'll be talking about this more. I'll be sharing the tidbits about my hijab business, why I started, and also the various collections and the various designs I have. So next time I come your way, bye bye.